and we're ready for it. Tractor Supply, for life out here.
Time to break out the good straws, because Zaxby's handcrafted milkshakes are back for good. Thick, creamy, hand-spun masterpieces in chocolate, strawberry, vanilla, and yeah, even their iconic birthday cake flavor. Whipped cream on top? Of course. The cherry? Always. Sprinkles? You know it. This birthday cake shake is like a party in a cup every day of the year. So grab one, then sip like you mean it. Zaxby's handcrafted milkshakes, now available. Who's got the sauce? Zaxby's.
This is Paul Feinbaum. That'll do it for me today. Coming up next, The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports, and it's brought to you by Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. Streaming live on Thursday at 2 p.m. Central on all CTSN social media platforms at UA_CTSN. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. On Thursday's edition of Crimson Drive, we'll be joined by our radio sideline reporter for Alabama football, Corey Reamer.
Trying to figure out how we can get both sides of the football to play their best at the same time. We've had offense really carry the team during parts of the season, defense carry it through the other parts. How do we put it all together? You never know what is going to happen right now. You can find a rhythm, get everybody on the same page, and you go out there and you take care of business next Friday. What that does from a confidence standpoint, leading into the next game, it's just, these are little building blocks. And I think it's, imperative for us to get off to a good start in each of these games. We've had some games where we've been a little bit slow coming out of the gate. And if we can have some early success, this team can really build off of that momentum.
I'll have more in a moment. Hey, Bama fans, each Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Central, join us live for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. This live streaming talk show features the latest on Alabama athletics with exclusive conversations with Tide student athletes, coaches, and media members giving their perspective on the Crimson Tide. You can watch on YouTube, Facebook, and X, with all conversations archived as well on the Alabama Insider podcast. Roll Tide with Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. Join us this afternoon for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, streaming live at 2 p.m. Central on all CTSN social media platforms at UA_CTSN. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
You'll love the expanded wine selection at Liquor Express. From special occasion to everyday table wines, they've got what you need. Meet your friends at the largest tap wall in Alabama with 105 rotating selections. Then take home a growler full of your favorite or choose from our 1,000 canned or bottled beers. Need help stocking your bar or planning your party? Liquor Express has a knowledgeable, professional in-house staff that can assist you with anything from your bar to the planning of your special event. Visit liquorexpress.net for tasting specials, giveaways, and classes.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. Are those new school clothes wearing out that old washer and dryer? Well, it's time to get off the bus at Owen Home Appliance Center and learn what a new Speed Queen washer can do for you. They're in stock and are ready for delivery now. At Owen Home Appliance Center, quality products, quality pricing, quality service. It's right there in the name, Owen Home Appliance Center. 2 locations to serve you, Highway 36 in Somerville and the interactive location at Highway 231 in Lacey Springs, just 8 miles south of the river.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer again. Baumhauer's Victory Grill is extremely proud to have recently received numerous awards, including being voted best wings in the state of Alabama. Other awards received include Best All-Around Restaurant, Best American Restaurant, #1 Sports Bar, Best Chef, Best Wings, and Best Dining Experience. Thank you for 43 legendary years, and we look forward to providing you an award-winning dining experience at every visit. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
The Tom Abraham Show. Weekdays beginning at noon on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and WZZN TV. WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone. This hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Live from Full Moon Barbecue. Do I need to say any more? Come on by. We're here at Full Moon Barbecue. If you'd like to get $50 of Full Moon Barbecue for just $25, head over to our website, 977ESPN.com. Click on the Big Zone Deal store. And much like Brian did, I think yesterday and today, he's going back-to-back brisket.
That's right.
And
if y'all call me at 256-576-4977 and takes about 3 or 4 rings, just know it's taking me that long to waddle over to the phone. That is a serious sandwich.
It's a big sandwich.
That is for a grown man.
Always great to be here at Full Moon Barbecue, and we've got a lot to get to. And by the way, there is really no tangible new information in regards to the Michigan story, so I'm not going to run. Anyway, I'm just, for those that want to go down that rabbit hole, just when there is real information out there, we'll report it. But anyway, that story is developing as we speak there at Michigan, as they're, by the way, getting ready for a bowl game against Texas. So anyway, there is also a show coming out tonight that will feature 9 conference games. It'll be the full schedule rundown tonight on the SEC network, and there is just quite a bit to talk about. And David Cutcliffe is kind enough to join us right out of the gate. And Coach, wow, I mean, what a season and what a culmination there in the SEC championship game. How are you, Coach?
Well, I'm good. I don't know that the last 2 weeks of the season. Well, maybe the even now we're going still another 3 weeks post last game. I don't think we've ever seen this much news happen at one time ever in the history of college football. Isn't it interesting?
Oh, I mean, honestly, I watched way too much C-SPAN. What was that, a week ago? Monday, during that back and forth. And I felt like I could do a full week just on that, Coach. And
yeah, you got plenty of topic.
Yes, sir.
No question.
Yes.
But
yes, sir.
I think that anybody or anyone that thinks they can put sense to a great deal of this last half of the season and continuation is just kidding themselves. There may never be a real explanation to understand. I heard what you just said about Michigan. There's no real news to sink your teeth in other than what we saw Ward Manuel say, the termination. But, man, I think I'm really getting old. You know, I'm like, what? I could never have seen this happen as I got into the coaching world in the mid 70s. I'm blown away. Absolutely blown away.
Well, information travels so fast, both correct information and wrong information. So it's whoever thought that we have a device we carry around with us 24/7 that tells us immediately.
Anybody can report anything at any time.
What's going on, and that there's so many fake accounts.
Oh my gosh!
That report so much information that's absolutely not true, and they know it.
Well, one thing that is true that I'd love to get a thought or two from you about is Jim Knowles, someone you know very well, heading up to Tennessee to be the new defensive coordinator there for the Tennessee Volunteers. What's your reaction, sir?
Well, my first comment would be just merely about Jim Knowles, who's a dear friend, a person that I really respect and love. I can go that far. We were together at Ole Miss, and then again together. I was fortunate to get him at Duke for a while, but he's so good. I knew that he would get hired away because we couldn't match funds to pay Jim at Ole Miss or at Duke. But he is a really genuine person. He loves working with young people. They love working with him. He's creatively smart and fun, which is a really good combination. And I think he's a great teacher. He's from Philadelphia. He was a Philly cop's son, grew up in row houses, and then went to the Ivy Leagues. So what does that tell you? And he and I used to have the best time. Often you go with an assistant as a head coach recruiting. We did a lot of recruiting up east at Duke, and Jim knew just a little bit about everything up there. So a smart man, a good man. I think that's a great hire for Tennessee. He's certainly one of the better defensive minds in all of football, and certainly the best one I've ever been around.
So when I was watching the pregame of the Alabama game, they had you talking to Ryan Williams, which looked like you were giving him some good advice.
I didn't know that was on the air. Okay.
Yes. It was on the pregame, and they just had you talking to him. And I thought that was interesting. How is the young man doing? I know he's under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I really was just, when I first met him, he's 17 years old, and I'm just there as an SEC guy watching practice. And we started up a conversation, and he got interested in it when he kind of put two and two together and figured out who I was. So it was a Q&A a bit. And so when I see him, I'm going to speak to him and wish him well. And I gave him one of my favorite two reminders that I think we all need to hear. But you were just talking about technology and information, and good gosh, and I just told him about the big two. And I usually use that with quarterbacks and our really high-profile players because there is a lot of pressure in being 17 or 18 or 19 and being a high-profile player. And the big two is simply this. Number one, spend all your focus on being a great teammate. You don't have to think about yourself because everybody else does. It's a lot less pressure when you totally get interested in the well-being of everybody else. And the greatest thing that can ever be said, and I reminded him of these things about any football player, years down the road, is when somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey, Ryan, you were the best teammate I ever had, man." I said, "Wouldn't that make you feel good?" And he's got that beautiful smile. And then the second one is this. We're little guys. Nobody says, "Hey, man, let's go outside and work some football." No, it's not work. Let's go outside and play some football. I said, "Man, you go play some ball tonight. This is awesome." And then walked away from him. So I'm embarrassed that anybody even saw that I was talking to him. I'm thinking pregame, there's really no, I apologize. I met my mother-in-law's, and that's phone ringing somewhere. But
all good, Coach. All good.
Yeah. And but he is a delightful young man, and I feel for all of them because it's the amount of information, accurate, inaccurate, right, wrong, indifferent, is a pretty amazing thing. And I don't know how you help them other than just being an encourager. That's the only thing I know to do. All of them. I don't care what team they're on. My job description's kind of unique anyway, and so any young person I can help, I'm going to do it regardless of job description, right?
Yeah, he played this year at 18, played at 7. At 18, I was at Alabama. I didn't know where I was. I didn't know what to do. I had no clue. I got redshirted, thank goodness, because I got hurt, and it's the best thing that ever happened to me. So I don't know how. I mean, everybody thinks. I mean, I just look back to what I was thinking, which was, how do I get? Yeah, I mean, seriously.
Yeah,
and so I predict next year he'll be a different player.
Think about the conversations I had with freshmen through all of those years. that think, well, they've made a mistake. I shouldn't be here. I don't think I want to play. I don't, and all of a sudden, when you're in high school, in most instances, not all, but you may play at the most against 8 to 10 major college SEC type football players. You may play with 1 or 2. And then all of a sudden you're thrown in that environment and you're out from under your parents' house and you're having to make a lot of decisions in school. Oh, yeah, it got a lot harder all of a sudden. It's tough. And now we've increased that. Arch Manning went through that, this year, and he's a bit older. But, I've had conversations with him, and it's overwhelming. You want to create expectation. I think that's one of the things Coach Bryant did a great job of. If you were there, you were expected to win. You were expected to be a national champion. You were expected, but not from a pressurized standpoint. That was an in-house way to view it, if that makes sense.
It does.
Well, 100%. Yeah. So, when you look at, I just still go back, Coach, to this 9-game schedule thing. And I just think we have made just the biggest, huge mistake. With what all is going on, how's it? I mean, and
the way Kirby put it,
well, it just
two teams are going to play 10 conference games next year.
Yeah, but yeah, that goes. Yeah, and I just think it's a huge error. I mean, tonight's the unveiling,
and that's. I let everyone know from the very beginning conversations. This wasn't just this year. That there's not a single coach that's going to be in favor of this, because until you've coached in this league, you don't understand. Every conference game is different. I don't care what the jersey is on the other team. Preparation, wear and tear, the competitiveness, the demands of the game itself, it's very wearing. And then we all know what we're looking at to some level and degree, arguable or not, a broken system to try to figure out who the 12 best teams that should be playing are.
Yeah.
And an added loss will have an effect. I agree. Now, let's get to the reality of these things. Their presidents and their directors of athletics have huge and real challenges of how to make a budget work nowadays. They have a lot of sports. And as we go through this, you're going to see things you don't like. I see things I don't like. I don't think anybody is intentionally trying to sabotage the SEC, but that's where we are. I have some good friends now that are ADs and very close friends, and their stress level is at a different level as well. And people can say, "Oh, bull," Well, no, that's real. And so it's too complex to dive into all of it. And I can't, and we won't, pick a side of all of it, but I certainly understand where our coaches are. I was sitting in an ACC head coaches meeting, I don't know, 6-7 years ago when it came up under John Swafford to talk about playing 9 games. I said, wait a minute. Let me tell everybody in this room, it was the commissioner and the head football coaches. And I was the chair probably most every year when I was there. And I said, we're not even going to think about that until the Southeastern Conference decides that's what they're going to do. We can't put ourselves in any disadvantage with the SEC and survive it. So don't even go there, Commissioner. That's not feasible, and it makes no sense for us. And I meant that strongly. And, they were getting criticized recently because of the circumstances of only playing the 8-game schedule and tiebreakers and all of this. So no matter what we do, guys, right now, we're not going to please many of the people. And there's a lot of media nationally jumping on, yeah, that's what they should be doing finally, and then, of course, you guys care. You're media and you have a job to do, but you care. And so I couldn't argue what you're saying, but, I'm not, I don't want to pick sides and point fingers at anyone. That is a majorly difficult topic. I think one of the things we have to do, and I know the commissioner pushes for if we get the automatic qualifiers, it doesn't hurt as bad. I think if we found a way to find the 12 best teams, regardless of anything else, we would see a lot of SEC teams in the playoffs. I saw Vanderbilt live this year.
Yeah.
They're a playoff caliber.
No, 100%. And it's not right. What's going on is not right.
I agree with that 1,000%. I think Texas is. I know they had a rocky start, but I would be in favor with technology that we have. If you have a group of people that build guardrails and do the due diligence, let AI tell you who the best 12 are. With all the data points and everything that mattered the most, I believe you would have seen both of those teams. AI would have had Texas and Vanderbilt in. Now, AI doesn't have that capability right now because it's not been built for that. But there's some smart people that can build that.
So Coach, I mean, I disagree with one thing you said. Sure. And I don't disagree with much what you said. But you said you don't think that there are people that want to see the SEC or against the SEC, and I think that's totally wrong. We went from 2 games to 4 games because there were 2 SEC teams in. Yeah. And then Alabama got in several times when a lot of people – I saw a guy on the what's his name, Kurt Herbstreit, walk off the set when Alabama got in one time. And now
he's a Big Ten guy. Don't forget that. Now.
Yeah, I know that. And we went to 12 teams because there were two Alabama and Georgia got into the finals.
Yeah.
And twice. And I believe that's when we went to 12 teams, and they rigged it where strength of schedule, they came up with a newer thing called strength of record.
Right.
Because strength of schedule they could never compete.
Right.
Because our teams are so good. So I think this is. I saw we got 3 in last year, and obviously, in my opinion, we could have got up to. We should have had 6 in last year.
We got 5,
and this year I think we ought to have 6 again, and if not 7. So of the best teams, but it's easy to do this, and why we're letting. And everybody loves the story about James Madison, but I've watched James Madison play.
Yeah.
They have no prayer of beating a good football team. And you know that as well.
Yeah, I think the divisions could change. I think if TV would agree, and these are just things. I have no ability to do anything, but if you would have different levels of playoffs, it could be an interesting story. You could have national champion. It could be 3 levels at the FBS level that are legitimately really good football, but the parity is there for teams to compete to be the champion. I don't think it's fair for a team to sit home and have. I'm sorry, I like John Summerall, but it's not fair to have Tulane or James Madison in there and have some of the others that are home be home.
Yeah.
So, Coach, the other thing is, I don't know if you saw John Gruden in his rant.
No, I didn't.
Please go watch his rant.
Yeah. I know how he can rant.
So
it's championship weekend, but his idea was to enhance championship weekend for other teams for more play-in style games.
Yeah, so it like I thought Texas. Well, he said that you had of course you have anybody that's in the of
like
the top four teams.
The 8 versus 12, like Vanderbilt play like a Notre Dame or something along those lines.
Right. You'd have just on the championship weekend, the people that aren't playing, anybody that's playing the championship, they're automatically in. So there are 8 teams. But you have 4 of the teams that are wanting to get in versus the 4 of the bottom that aren't in the championship games, and they play, and it's a play-in game. And they're not sitting home resting.
Yeah.
And it makes a lot of sense to me. I mean,
I agree. I think that's one of the things I'm talking about, different divisions. I think that there is a potential for championship weekend to be some form of play-in model. I mean, I like all of that, but what happens is we get in a huge hurry to make decisions and things don't get vetted well enough. And, there is something to slow and steady wins the race.
There is.
The other thing you have to do is that you have to take off institutional hats and conference hats to come up with absolutely the best plan possible. And that's very difficult to do.
It really is. And I think at least one step that was made of increasing the scholarship level to 105 is significant.
Oh, I was glad to see us do that. Yeah, I was 100% for that, as was every coach. And, you started doing the numbers. I sent out an email on numbers about how many people were being signed that we couldn't sign that maybe would have walked on, but probably not. And you start adding those numbers up, at 20 per institution. That's a lot of kids being cherry picked out of the Southeastern Conference footprint.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Yeah.
So, pretty dangerous thing.
You're exactly right, Coach. We cannot thank you enough for the time. I know you're up in Tennessee for former Commissioner Kramer. Yes, sir.
And I've got a dear friend that they're burying up here Saturday that also passed away. So it's been a difficult ride up here, and Commissioner Kramer was certainly one of my heroes. I got to know him pretty well as an assistant, and then when I got the Ole Miss job, he was the commissioner at that point, and he was always good to me and my wife both, and Sarah Jo was as well, and that family, geez, his 2 girls and Steve, his son. People need to understand why Roy Kramer should be still widely celebrated. So thank you for bringing that up.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, we always appreciate the time that you give us, Coach. We always learn so much. And Merry Christmas to you and your family, Coach.
Well, y'all eat some brisket for me. Go for it, man. Go.
Mission accomplished on that one there,
All
Coach.
Right. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. That is Coach David Cutcliffe. We do need to take our first time out as Coach Jack Crow is in the on-deck circle. You better believe it. We're going Coach's Corner full bore here in this 5 o'clock hour on this Thursday as we're live at Full Moon Barbecue.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Well-informed truck and SUV buyers wait all year for this moment because they know the year-end deals are worth the wait. Hi, folks. Don Wessels for Woody Anderson Ford, and these are the final days of our year-end sales event. We've got nearly 700 new Fords ready for you, and it's very likely you'll find exactly what you're looking for. Drive home with no payments for 90 days, plus get financing as low as 0% for 60 months on the 25 F-150, Explorer, Escape, Transit Van, and the Lightning. Or choose one of our 0-down 36-month leases starting at just $399 on our most popular models, plus 2 years of complimentary maintenance. First payment due at signing, no security deposit, plus tax, tag, title, and fees with approved credit. Offer ends 12/31. This is as good as it gets. No payments for 90 days, 0% for 60 months, and no money down $399 leases. The end of the year is here, and we've got the deals that make that wait worthwhile. Only at Woody Anderson Ford. I'm Don Wessels, and we can't wait to see you.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at All About Water. Crazy name, huh? Well, let me introduce you to them. All About Water is the top pond builder anywhere in the Tennessee Valley, and that includes remodeling or cleaning out existing ponds as well. They also have monthly maintenance plans for your pond. Don't have a pond? Well, how about a fountain or water feature for your property to bring that soothing sound of running water to your happy place? On the other hand, maybe you have water on your property that you don't want. Well, Ryan at All About Water is all about water, so he could take care of that as well. He has a background in fluid dynamics, and what that means is that he can take care of any water issue that you have. Finally, how about that irrigation system that you have or that you want? Well, they do installs and maintenance and repairs on those as well, because they are all about water. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at woodyandersonford.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
Back here at Full Moon Barbecue. Come on by. Again, if you want $50 of Full Moon Barbecue, head over to our website, 977ESPN.com. Click on the Big Zone Deal store. Savings never tasted so good. Just click on the barbecue and enjoy some Full Moon Barbecue for just $25.
You know,
and the more you buy.
The thing I like about Full Moon, they make sure to put plenty of napkins in the bag. You're going to need them. It's an experience.
It is. It is. Went ribs tonight and went chicken. So, yeah.
Good choices all around.
Yeah, yeah. Good stuff. Also good stuff is always when we break down some ball with Coach Jack Crow, who is on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. How are you, Coach?
I'm good. Joe Maloof is glad you guys are working it there, man.
Absolutely. It was tough to get Wes over here to Full Moon Barbecue, Coach.
I bet it was. He's already had 3 of them, I know. I love Full Moon. Now, let me give you a commercial. It don't get no better than Full Moon. That was built by an old Alabama football coach.
Pat James,
an old Oklahoma Boomer Sooner. Yep.
Yeah, so I used to go to PJ's Lounge with my dad when I was 10.
Mm-hmm. Well,
in Birmingham.
I might have been in there recruiting you if I'd have known when you'd been in there.
Oh, God.
Well, there's too much to react from, Coach, honestly, from the new head coach at Auburn to the SEC championship game, the bracket being released. Where do you want to start, Coach? What intrigues you the most right now?
You wake up today and you've got another shakeup. So, you're almost living in a news cycle. You don't know, quite where to go with it. But I think in terms of traditions. I'll just give you. I think Auburn has made a better call than they've made in a while. Personally, we'll see, but I feel that way, and I think Alabama needs to make sure they know they do everything to support this head coach they got, because they got a good one.
Yeah, that's real right there. When you're hearing the likes of Penn State and Michigan, and the first name that you're hearing is Kalen DeBoer, I mean, I think that speaks volumes to what kind of coach Alabama has right now, Coach.
Yep. And the things he's going through, they're understandable. I mean, as a fan, I can poke holes in every bit of it. I mean, if I was sitting at the end of the table, he sits at, I'd be poking. He's poking holes in every bit of it. Every day he's poking holes in it. But there's only one person that can solve this problem. It's not any of us giving our ideas. It's him. Now, Wes, I'll be honest with you. I just hope that the responsibilities he has are consistent with his authorities. And if they ever make it shaky with him, it's because they didn't give him enough authority to follow through. I mean, Nick he had dictatorial power. I know this guy doesn't have that. But they better make sure that they've given him everything possible, because he's got things he's got to fix. He didn't walk into a perfect situation, and it got worse just because of climate. In the NCAA, it was bad enough that Nick walked away from it. So what authority does he need? And if there's ever a day that Coach DeBoer ever looks another direction, it won't be because of money. It will be because he sees his problems and he realizes he doesn't have the authority to fix them. Now that's when you start, undermining your own kind, and that's the worst thing any program could do.
But Coach, you see his recruiting; he's killing it recruiting. I mean, he's getting. He's been able to. Last year at the second portal window, he lost exactly no
0.
one.
Yeah.
The players like him. The only thing that can get better is depth, and that's hard to do. Everybody's having trouble with that.
Yeah, and I have problems with a little bit with their approach. I don't see his approach as being typical SEC football, honestly. I mean, it is West Coast, but I don't think he likes toughness or an understanding of all this. But I do think I think if they had a running back and a tight end, this would look a lot different. I mean, they've got a way.
Yeah, they're getting a running back. Have you seen that dude?
Well, I'm talking about right now. I'm talking.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I'm talking about going to win at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And I mean, now we look at their ability to adjust and be versatile, and if they don't have them, what are you going to do about it? I mean, every program gets put in a position where you've got to use some innovation or whatever. Maybe they need to put a tight end in the backfield and just say, we got 4 wides, bring whatever you got. We're going to throw the damn thing instead of a back and a flare and a tight end who's, crossing the field when the linebackers are chasing some, all that stuff. If you don't have those guys,
the whole thing I hate is the number one thing I hate of what they're doing is the blocking schemes on the blitz. They're horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, you're giving a guy.
Well, you know this, Wes. You can take a blitz pickup period, and you can have them, But once a really good defensive coordinator, and that guy at Oklahoma is, and there's a lot of them that are. I'm not in the game anymore, so I don't know. And they will use your rules against you.
Yeah, you got to change the rules during the game. You got to have more than one set of rules. Is what we did. I mean, you can't slide protect every time. You can't do it. They're gonna abuse you if you do.
Absolutely. And what they've never got to know what your pass protection scheme is or whether you're moving the quarterback. And I think the one thing that would help their running game, I mean, -3 yards is a little damn ridiculous, to be honest with you. I mean, that's not even in the respectable zone. As much as I would stay committed to who the leadership is, there's a call to action here. This is not acceptable. But, they've got to run the quarterback, as I mentioned, to keep it from just being a pass rush and coverage game, because Georgia just played 2 dimensions of football. And, man, they can scheme the hell out of you pass protections when they got to worry about fit and run gaps.
Yeah.
Well, I thought they really when they did run the ball early, they were getting 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah.
They just couldn't. Yeah. I don't know why they couldn't get 3rd and 2. I mean, they tried everything in the world to get, and 3rd and 2 was our worst play. So, I think, and against Oklahoma, the first game, they were doing all these runs. I don't know why. I would do some things different. There's no question, but I think it's a blocking scheme. I think it's more scheme than anything. And the number 56 has trouble pass protecting. He just does.
Yeah.
And when he's playing, he's a liability in pass protection. There's no question.
Yeah.
And then the backs, like you said, you got to do something. The backs, you got all your backs. Your 26 is, we're a different team when he's playing pass protection wise.
Yeah.
There's no question. And then, but he hasn't been 100% since the Missouri game, except for Auburn. I thought he played very good at Auburn until he got hurt.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the other guys, 28 hadn't played in 6 games.
Yeah.
He's the 3rd down back that catches the ball better than anybody and runs the ball in open field better than anybody. And he makes a difference because you got to pay attention to him. I think 4 is hurt, and he had some busts in the game on pass protection. And then when he did catch it, how does he not get a first down the 2 times he did catch it? He dropped 2, and then Ty missed him once, but he's open. But who's paying attention to him? Because he's not a threat, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a threat to beat you. So you got to have a threat. And they're running that one robber in the middle of the field now because that's where Ty likes to throw it. And, he's lucky he didn't have an interception in the Auburn game and the Georgia game.
Well, all that being said, Coach, I mean, you tell me, both of you, tell me if I'm wrong. Oklahoma won 2 games this year that I thought the better team didn't win. And that was the Tennessee game and the Alabama game where turnovers were just huge.
Well, that's how they beat Auburn down there 2 years ago. That's what he does.
Yeah.
He knows your calls. That's what I think is what I've been told. He knows your calls. Yeah.
That's him. I mean, and turnovers happen as much as anything because of uncertainty, either in your blocking scheme where somebody's loose in there. I mean, backs don't drop balls. Quarterbacks don't throw interceptions. They throw it where they shouldn't throw it. And a running back is given running situations where he's exposed and there's a lot of people. I mean, they just, and everybody coaches getting the ball, but some people just coach it a little better than others. And some people coach protect the ball a little better than others. But I can tell you that one thing you don't want to do is scare your quarterback in this protection game too. And I thought watching the game that there was a little bit of I can't turn this ball over in the game. And you can't, man, it's a delicate balance for the mind of a quarterback because, he can't have that. He can't have that in his head. I mean, when you see it, the guy that's coaching him has got to say, hey, man, listen, you got to play, you come on. And so, but when he's confused And that's what happens when you don't run the ball. They start moving around back there because they don't have any goddamn run fits. And when they got run fits and they got gaps, you tie them down, and you know where they're at and what they're doing. And that's when you get a deep crossing route, and the linebackers are 7 yards deep, and they're trying to recover from playing a run gap, and that's how you open up the middle of the field. So this is why most people start with a run, and I don't know how much of they think that way. When I said they are a West Coast offense, that wasn't a good thing to say, but it's not an indictment of them, because I'm not sitting in their chairs. But you can't answer every problem with a pass. And so, I don't know. I think they're real close. Hell, if I was guessing, I think they're going to win. I think he's
Coach. They're actually favored. I'm still blown away by that.
1.5 still. 1.5 favorite.
But, they're going to have to run the ball, though. I mean, and as good as Oklahoma is up front, they are vulnerable to gap control. All that stuff they do, and I hadn't looked at film. I don't know in what way, but I know if you don't have a tight end in the game, you're not creating enough gaps to identify gap control either. I mean, a real tight end, set an edge kind of guy.
Yeah. Did you watch the Oklahoma LSU game, Coach?
I did, but not technically. Just
okay.
As a
you socially watched it.
I spent a whole life knowing where everybody was on every goddamn play. I sort of ran through that, and I kept looking at West saying, how the hell can that guy block all those people like that? He ain't tall enough. He ain't got no dang quickness. I mean, how the hell did he do this? Because the intangible in the game, is really, when I watch a game, what I'm watching. I'm watching for fight, toughness, resiliency. I mean, Wes, you and I both know it's going to come down to the fourth quarter, and who damn wants it? Now, if it gets away from you before you ever get to the fourth quarter, it's because somebody gave something to somebody.
Yeah, you got to. Well, the special teams for Alabama this year in the games that they've lost have been horrendous.
Yeah,
against Oklahoma, you had a block kick, a kick, a fumbled punt, and then a punt return. All those three things happened, and then it was like Alabama was playing. I thought they were on the cusp of doing some good things when they got the punt blocked. And that was a 3rd and 2 they didn't pick up as well. So you got to pick up short yardage is the number of things.
And then a 4th and 2 on your own 12.
If you can't pick up 3rd and 2 90% of the time, and we'll go to the tush push.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're not controlling the line of scrimmage.
100%, I agree with that.
And I watched the Falcons. I had people over there that I knew, like, what in the hell do y'all do that y'all? Yeah. It's ridiculous. It is a mano situation, man. And you're not. I mean, you got some men up there. Yeah. Everything is in your favor if you come off the ball and keep your damn pads down, particularly with all this pushing stuff.
Yeah,
How can you not do that?
I don't know. I don't get it. Yeah.
So. Anyway, that's me. I'm an old timer, though.
I believe, your initial comment of West Coast offense is ringing in my head right now, Coach.
It is West Coast. It's got more of a downfield than the original 49ers look at it and all that kind of stuff. It's got a little bit more of a downfield, middle of field kind of dynamic to it, but it's still predicated on. You run the ball to help the pass instead of running the ball to establish, command of the line of scrimmage. I mean, and if you can't command the line of scrimmage, you can't pass protect nowadays. They're going to learn your pass protection, and they're going to out-scheme you. They're going to find who is the weakest protector, and they're going to get that guy. If it's the running back.
And it's not hard to find. Yeah.
No, it is glaring to the people that know how to do this, how to scheme your pass protections. Glaring.
All they're doing to Alabama is getting you to slide one way and faking the blitz from that way and coming from the other. And there's nobody there to pick it up. And it's easy to just don't slide every time. You cannot slide every time.
Well, if you're sliding, you may be protecting somebody. Now, who are they protecting, Wes? Because I don't know.
I think 56, but they're not doing a good job protecting them. But I don't think he doesn't play all the time. When they have their good guys in, they do pretty good protecting.
I believe the good would be the key word in that sentence right there, Coach.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like Alabama's going to win this game, by the way, for the people that are on the drive and driving. They can't turn it over, but they can't scare the hell out of their damn quarterback. And hopefully he got well enough that they can have some designed runs, because obviously if they don't create that 12-man concept, and what I mean by that is when you start assigning the quarterback to somebody, you are locking that defense down. When they say you got the quarterback, when you do that, it's outside. That's a secondary responsibility. That means somebody's got a dual responsibility. That's the 12th man. That's the reason I said 12 man. And this guy can do it. Now, if he's been hurt and he hadn't done it, if you see 4 or 5 design run plays, you're going to see a different offense. Design run plays for the quarterback. And whatever they do that's different, whatever that is, they're going to have to come with something a little different to make them people over there scratch their head a little bit. If you don't, you're like Bill Oliver used to say, it's submarine warfare. If they know where you are long enough, they're going to blow you up.
Yeah, that's
a lot of truth in that.
That is good. Now, I never heard him say that. That was I like that. Yeah.
Oh, I was in a lot of spaces with brother in the heat of the battle, man. You were never going to figure out where he was.
Coach, did you happen to watch the Big Ten championship game? And if you did, I'd love to get your thoughts on that Indiana-Ohio State game.
My impression is, let's take tradition of the two programs out of it. My impressions is the better coach team was Indiana. The better motivated team was Indiana. They didn't have weaknesses. Did they have great strength? Like, if you look back 5 years from now and how many guys are playing in the NFL off these two teams, you're going to find more of them at Ohio State. But there's nothing like a really sound, efficient. They can get 3rd and 2.
Yep.
They can get 3rd and 10 on your ass. They don't have any goddamn weaknesses.
Yeah.
And that makes them unpredictable. And I thought the defensive coordinator at Ohio State was trying to catch up the whole day. And I don't know I don't know what they look like to each other because that's game planning.
Yeah.
But he looked like he was catching up all day. To me.
And to your point, Ohio State is the odds-on favorite to win the championship. Not Indiana's second in terms of from a betting perspective.
I want to see Alabama and Indiana.
I'd love to see it. That'd be in the Rose Bowl. I'd love to see it too.
It's in the fight song, isn't it?
It's
in the fight song.
That's right. That's right, Coach. That's exactly right.
That's who Alabama is.
Coach, Kyle Collins just walked through here. He just walked in and out. He already left where I was going to put him on. I didn't know he was leaving.
Go get him. Hey, now, I got a report to Mr. Maloof about whether y'all selling any barbecue at that place or not.
Oh, yeah. They're coming in and out of here now.
Yeah. Well, okay. I mean,
yes, they are.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, indeed.
All right, now I'm gonna when I report to him, I'm gonna say those boys are worth the dime you're spending because their son's some barbecue. All right, I'm gonna do that for you guys.
We appreciate that, Coach. It's always great to talk with you.
All right, good to talk to you guys. Take care.
Merry Christmas,
Coach.
Merry Christmas.
Let's take our second time out live here from Full Moon Barbecue. Oh, look who's coming back in here. Look who's coming back in here.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Well-informed truck and SUV buyers wait all year for this moment because they know the year-end deals are worth the wait. Hi, folks. Don Wessels for Woody Anderson Ford, and these are the final days of our year-end sales event. We've got nearly 700 new Fords ready for you, and it's very likely you'll find exactly what you're looking for. Drive home with no payments for 90 days, plus get financing as low as 0% for 60 months on the 25 F-150, Explorer, Escape, Transit Van, and the Lightning. Or choose one of our zero-down 36-month leases starting at just $399 on our most popular models, plus 2 years of complimentary maintenance. First payment due at signing, no security deposit, plus tax, tag, title, and fees with approved credit. Offer ends 12/31. This is as good as it gets. No payments for 90 days, 0% for 60 months, and no money down $399 leases. The end of the year is here, and we've got the deals that make that wait worthwhile. Only at Woody Anderson Ford. I'm Don Wessels, and we can't wait to see you.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement. It's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID, and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month up to $15 at participating locations. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings. In New Market and Hampton Cove, and our new location, now open in Hartselle at 200 Main Street West, downtown.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor at Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen. Temperatures fall into the upper 30s for the overnight tonight across the Tennessee Valley. We will remain under a mostly clear sky. Heading into tomorrow, we'll see plenty of sunshine. High temperatures warm into the upper 50s for this Friday. We could potentially see wind gusts as high as 15 miles per hour.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hold your block until the whistle blows.
From SEC Media Days to the National Championship game.
This was a great team win.
We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
And right on cue, there goes Coach Collins. on his way out of here. You want to talk to us, Coach? Okay. Are you just snapping photos? No, that's yours, Wes. Come on now. Kyle Collins, who played at Auburn and is just stopping on by. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great, Steve, man. I ain't seen you guys in a while.
I know, it's been a while.
Yeah, I come in here almost every day. You got the best sweet tea I've ever tasted. You're with me on that, aren't you?
That's right.
Absolutely great.
That's right.
Well, that's why you came in and you just
listen. I
swept out.
I've got a bill here. I just come in and tap it and move around.
You got a good Jack Crow story for me?
Yes, I got plenty of Jack Crow stories, but Coach Crow was he was the offense coordinator when I was at Auburn, and he was a stickler for the little bitty things, which you should be, but you come out of high school, you're really not used to that. Coach Crow and Coach Dye used to get after each other during the games. It was the funniest thing in the world to watch. The first time you saw it, you were scared to death because you didn't know what was going to happen. But Coach Crow was great. He was great.
Coach Dye was always Monday morning quarterback at Monday.
Coach Dye, we were playing, I think it was Florida State, and we had went into the end zone, and we were going for two. And Coach Dye grabbed me as I was coming off the field. He said, why didn't he run that crossbuck stuff? Crossbuck. I said, I don't know, Coach. He said, so he starts chewing Coach Crow out. Why didn't you run that crossbuck stuff? Here's the thing. We didn't have anything called crossbuck in our offense. But nobody was going to tell Coach Dye that.
Well, all that is a counter,
yes,
right? That's
yes.
what he's running under the counter.
And that's the way he was thinking about it. Absolutely. But he's got a hold of me, and he's mad at me because Coach Crow didn't call the crossbuck. Right.
They called the right
I'm
play.
like, hey, Coach, we'll call it the next time.
So was that the game? Coach Dye said they had
the signals.
They were getting the radio signal. They could hear their
Bowden's.
Yes.
And he said after a while they turned it off. It wasn't doing them any good.
Hey, the funny story, I was captain that game. We were down in Tallahassee, and we go out, and they flip. Said, Coach Collins, what do you want to do? So we want to defer. He turns over to the Florida State guy, and he says, they've won the toss. They want to defer. What do you want to do? He said, we want to defend this goal. And the ref said, well, hang on. They've deferred. What do you want to do? Apparently, Coach Bowden had told him in the event we kick, we want to kick a certain way. He said, we want to defend this goal.
So y'all got the ball both times.
He turns and looks at me and says, they want to defend that goal. I said, let's let them. And yes, we win the game 42-41, and we had one extra possession.
Wow.
But what's the funny thing is I'm looking at the guy, and I can see Coach Bowden. And he starts to realize right as it was too late, oh, my gosh, something has happened. He's running on the field when the guy's tapping us on the shoulder. And
he's doing the signal, right? It's too late then.
Too late. But, had we not done that, maybe not won the ball game.
Boy, I used to, when they changed that at the beginning, it was like, you had to really think while you're out there.
Yes. Yeah. You could get it. And that, I coach, and these refs asked me, what do you want to do before the kids walk out there? And I said, this is exactly what we're going to do.
That's awesome.
Thank you for stopping by, Coach.
Thank y'all, man. Listen, y'all can buy me barbecue anytime.
You're in a good place here at Full Moon.
Hey, I want to wish everybody's listening a Merry Christmas. Thank you for Jesus. I'm glad he's here. Thank you for you guys.
Thank you, Coach. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. See y'all.
That'll do it for hour number 1. And Drew DeArmond is set to join us in hour number 2. Thank you, Coach. Kyle Collins, who played for the Auburn Tigers back in the day. I was hoping for a little something juicier there on Jack Crow, but still good stuff. Good stuff indeed. That'll do it for hour number 1. Sports Center update comes up next, and we are right back here. By the way, UH Charger women's basketball right now over on Talk Radio WZZN as the women, I'll tell you, they have the 5th best scorer in the nation on their team right now. Lily Wilkin already over 200 points on the season. Scott Tyson has that play-by-play call right now. Men will come up later on this evening right here.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Nick DeLuca, Week 15 getting going on Thursday Night Football tonight. The Buccaneers taking on the Falcons. Tampa looking for their 5th straight division title, are just 2-5 in their last 7 games. Getting some help at wide receiver tonight. Mike Evans expected to make his return from the broken collarbone that he suffered in Week 7. Falcons trying to play spoiler will have tight end Kyle Pitts in the lineup, came in questionable with a knee injury. J.J. Watt's status uncertain for Monday night. Steelers star edge rusher in a local hospital for further evaluation for a lung injury that occurred while getting treatment yesterday. TJ experienced discomfort during practice. His status for Monday night's game against the Dolphins is up in the air. Elsewhere, Bengals QB Joe Burrow raising some eyebrows with his comments about loving football yesterday. ESPN's Dan Orlovsky says Burrow's time in Cincy is coming to a close.
The beginning of the end for Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. The organization has absolutely failed him. If I'm the Jets, if I'm the Raiders, if I'm the Vikings, if I'm the Steelers, I'm figuring out a way, coming off of what happened just yesterday, getting together and say, how do we get Joe Burrow? How do we start the process of making Joe Burrow our quarterback? Because he obviously no longer wants to be in Cincinnati.
Orlovsky on Get Up. Bengals 4-9 take on the Ravens on Sunday. In the NBA, Grizzlies center Zach Edey dealing with a stress fracture in left ankle that he had surgery on this offseason will be reevaluated in 4 weeks. He's averaged 16.5 points and 14 rebounds over the last 6 games.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Friday, we'll get you ready for Week 15 of the NFL, which includes 4 different matchups that will have huge playoff implications throughout the league. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
.97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Back here at Full Moon Barbecue, we started this week with a conversation with Ivan Maisel. And one, I forgot Ivan retired, and he was formerly with ESPN as well as On 3, but did remember about his book and about Coach Frank Leahy. It's a Notre Dame book. Well, little did I know, and they have since corrected it, he had a book signing scheduled and up in next to Notre Dame's campus. And it was, the bookstore pulled it and said, no, we're good. We don't need a book signing this week. Well, a little uproar happened right afterwards, and I'm happy to report that book signing is back on at the bookstore right outside the campus. So anyway, a lot going on with Notre Dame football, certainly a lot going on with Michigan football. And there is no new news to report of details of exactly what happened. And at least the initial reports, boy, it sounds like it could have been a whole lot worse. I'm glad there was no loss of life in any regard of this story. It is a messy story, but just going to wait for all the facts to come out before we dive too deep into it more than anything. Bottom line, I think we all want to see good football. We started this show here talking with David Cutcliffe, and last year, these playoff games in particular, we've had a few decent ones. I can think of the Georgia-Oklahoma overtime game out at the Rose Bowl, and
that was a long time ago.
I know. I know.
I'm talking about
How many good games do you think we're going to see next Friday and Saturday? Because Oregon is a 20-point favorite. Ole Miss is a 16-point favorite. Texas A&M is a 4-point favorite over Miami. And Alabama is a 1.5 favorite.
I'm interested in that game because it's two different styles. And really, it's interesting because whoever wins that game goes and plays Ohio State in the Orange Bowl.
That's right.
So if Miami were to win, they'll be having a whole game basically at the Orange Bowl.
And to go turn around and play in the same building for, because the national championship game is at Hard Rock.
Right.
In Miami.
But they had a lot of games. They got, 3 games to win to do that, though.
How are you, Drew?
I'm good. Some Michigan Crookerine fans' truck broke down.
Not yours.
No.
Not yours.
Didn't have any possums this time. I'll show Wes the video when we go to break.
How do you don't know there's a dead possum in your truck?
Great question. Because me and my friend Mike Bentley, shout out to Mike, great listener of this station. He came over and we looked at my car before I decided the true game plan. Was I going to try to jump it, drive it to our great sponsor, Bill Penny Toyota, who I'd already talked to, or was I going to just get it towed? Because I have a tow as part of my insurance. We looked down, saw nothing except Mike saw it right away. He goes, I can see your problem. He goes, your belt's off of your alternator. And so we called Bill Penny and we said, hey, can I jump this thing and still drive it, or what would you do? He goes, well, it's a 2024. You got a free tow, right? I said, yeah. He goes, I wouldn't take any chances. I wouldn't want to do any damage. And then I filed through my app to get the tow, Rocket City Tow and Recovery. Shout out to them. And they came and looked at it. And Devin, great guy, he said, man, we've been doing all kind of stuff. He goes, I do several with Bill Penny, every week. He goes, but I just drove to Nashville to somebody had to get a battery replaced. He said, but look, with your vehicle, he said, I'm going to jump it with my jump box, because he had his jump box with him. He said, you only get 5 minutes of power. So he said that would not have been a good idea to try to drive it 15 minutes to Bill Penny Toyota. So they got it in there before noon, and then they found Puxatawny Phil a little bit after that.
That was a gopher, right? It wasn't a gopher.
Yeah. I called him Lane Kiffin.
Right? Sand Mountain Sam.
Yeah,
that's better.
Any of the Sand Mountain Sam.
Personally, I called him Lane Kiffin. Because at first they thought it was a rat, so I said, "Well, it's got to be Lane Kiffin."
Wow. Well, what do you think about the matchup? Alabama. Honestly, the Alabama-Oklahoma game. We talked about this afterwards. It was turnovers that were the difference in that game more than anything. But what do you think about this rematch between Alabama and Oklahoma? Drew?
Well, I don't think it's a bad one for Alabama. I think it's a winnable game. I think Oklahoma's offense has been about as pedestrian as Alabama's. I think both defenses have played at an elite level. Where I would be nervous if I were an Alabama fan is, and that's why they won, besides the forced turnovers, but one of them came via the kicking game. The kicking game for Oklahoma has been a lot better than Alabama's.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I mean, that's what got Alabama off track.
Right?
Do what?
Mr. Swimsuit, right?
Yeah, but like I said, man, he just it's not just Thunderfoot. I mean, if you remember in the game, and Wes, I'm sure, mentioned this, they created an explosive punt return of about 42 yards because Alabama missed a tackle. Because Dowd did the right thing. He kicked it near the sideline. It was like a coffin corner kick, and Alabama missed 2 tackles. He's out the gate, and by the time you get him on the ground, he's deep in Alabama territory.
Yeah, because they try to block him. They try to love him down, as Coach Dye said, instead of locking him up and waiting on your friends to get there.
Yeah, and then, of course, at the end of the half, the block field goal.
That's right.
I mean, they created a lot of havoc in the kicking game. And then Alabama dropped a pick 6, dropped another potential interception. And so I just think a lot of it was self-inflicted. But again, Alabama's going to have to clean some stuff up, and Alabama's not going to have LT Overton, in my opinion. based on, the intel you get about his health situation. The first thing I thought about was Zeke Knight. And that's a name people haven't talked about for years, over 15 years. He was from Randolph County, Wadowee, Alabama, and Saban got there, and he had been a big wide receiver for 2 years, but everybody knew with a functioning brain, except for the previous staff, that he was the size of an outside linebacker, and he should be an outside linebacker. And Saban put him there, and he started wrecking things when he was a junior. But then by the end of his junior year, there was some testing done and some medical situations, and I think he had some sort of heart condition, and he never played again. The NCAA wouldn't clear him, and he never played, another down at Alabama. Missed his senior year. He was an NFL player, and it was very, very sad. I see he puts a lot of his highlights up now on Facebook still because he was very proud of his career, and he would have been an NFL player. LT was on his way to doing that. From what I understand with LT, it's a blood clot situation having to do with arteries and very dangerous things. It's hereditary. They found it the week of the Georgia game, and the way I put it, the way I was told, the info was given to me is that the NCAA wouldn't clear him. But if he goes to the NFL, is fortunate enough to get drafted, and he should, but they'll take a long look at the medical stuff. But if he's willing to sign a waiver, they'll play him. But, look, man, the first athlete you think about is Hank Gathers.
Yeah.
I watched that happen live.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
And then Reggie Lewis.
Yeah.
That's the two guys that you always think about. And so, life is more important than football. They could certainly use LT, played against Auburn his last game. But I'll just say this, whether Alabama wins or not, I will be surprised if LT Overton ever plays a down at Alabama again.
Wow.
And that's just me. Because that's a serious thing. There's not really a cure for it.
Yeah.
You can take blood thinners, all this stuff. But it reminds me of there's a guy in the NFL now who had a ton of this problem and missed time at Tennessee, Trey Smith.
Yeah.
He's now an all-pro at Tennessee, but I think he probably had to sign a waiver as well. He had all kind of problems with blood clots where he missed time.
Well, they're treatable. There's things you can do.
They are, but it's just the NCAA is in a kind of a rock and a hard place with that kind of stuff. And so it's dangerous. I pray and hope they can figure something out, but I'll just say this. I don't think he'll be on the field in Norman. And you've got 2 weeks, and you played without him the last game. You got to get, you got to get Keon Keeley ready to go. You got to get Jordan Renaud ready to go. You got to get some dudes ready. Freddie, Kane, you got to get them ready. And LT got you to this point, but, this is the end of a long journey. So you got to have some guys ready to roll, and so I think Alabama does have some depth. So we'll see. And you can move some pieces around. Maybe Steve Bolo get some reps inside, so you can move maybe a London Simmons to the bandit spot a little bit, move some pieces, do some different things. But I'm just saying, I'll be surprised at this point if we see LT Overton.
The news surrounding the Michigan program, are you hearing anything?
I sent you guys something from somebody that I feature, that I trust, that was with him for 30 minutes today.
Talking about Kalen DeBoer.
Yes.
Not with. No, they didn't visit him in the jail cell in Michigan.
No. We had to add to the Drew-nary this morning, and it was just off the cuff. The Michigan Crookereens. And so, but I'm sorry. Like I said, Alex was with him for 30 minutes today. Alex Scarborough, Bama 247.
Yeah.
And again, like he said, he's a poker player, but I don't really – and the timing makes no sense. None. You just signed a top 5 with the 247, who he works for, top 2 recruiting class nationally. And that was even losing 3 or 4 pieces late, but you had the opportunity to add. And you may add another in Sam Gash's son in the late period as a wide receiver. And the portal is coming up, which you've been planning out for weeks.
Yeah.
The timing makes no sense to if he loses to Oklahoma, he'll just get out of there because of the pressure. You mean
go to Michigan?
Yeah, to go to work for the Crook of Reigns, where 4 years ago we had a prominent caller saying khaki pants had to go. Khaki pants had to go. He can't beat Ohio State. Then all of a sudden they start stealing signs, and they're beating people. Really? And now that they found Connor Wild Stallions and they uncovered all that, all of a sudden they're back to losing 3 or 4 games a year. Wow. Is that some kind of coincidence? That's what I was asking. So the Crook of Reigns are back to being 9-3 and losing to Ohio State. Drink. You know what I'm saying? I felt like Mike Valenti this morning. He's my soul brother.
I will get in a room one day. I will. That needs to happen.
I mean, everybody talks about the pressure at Alabama accepted. You think there's not? Look, Ryan Day was 1 loss from getting fired last year.
Does this feel more like a Jimmy Sexton deal? I mean, is he trying to leverage
Probably.
something?
No, this is. They didn't know they were going to fire him 2 days ago.
Right. Well, and I'll just say this.
So how would he? I don't even think he's even talking to anybody.
Given the situation that we
here's
have
the deal
at the moment,
I did start.
I'm not saying he foresaw this.
I was trying to read and watch a lot of stuff last night. And you guys know we have a great relationship with Jay Crane and Crane and Company. His co-host is David Adam Cohn, who I've introduced Wes to. He's married to Richard Todd's daughter. Okay. So he's got irons in the fire all over the place, but he played at Michigan. And he admitted that starting in September, the first time the Crook of Reigns lost, this was brought up. This has been the rumor, which they poo-pooed, has been out there for a long time. And now as you continue to peel back the onion, 67, whatever they're doing, but I'm just saying, you peel it back, it turns out the chick he was involved with, he gave her like a $95,000 raise. She was in the recruiting office, and she's the daughter of a Steelers scout. She's the daughter of a Steelers scout. So the more you continue to peel this back, and I'll just say this, and I believe this with every fiber in my being, with David Cohn saying that they knew this back in September. They brought it up again in October when the Crook of Reigns lost again. And then, of course, when Ohio State finally ended the streak. I'm just saying, I don't think it's a coincidence they waited till after signing day. And if the Crook of Reigns were in the playoffs, we wouldn't be hearing about this. Okay. But they weren't great this year. They were just decent. And, they gave this guy the job because they won a national championship, and he kept it between the ditches. He just his off-the-field conduct wasn't too good.
Just waiting for the right time is what
to finally throw him under the bus. Because we all know Ward Manuel's competent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I told somebody today, and they got a good laugh out of it. I said, now, Jim Harbaugh, they were just so ethical in everything they did as a staff. And then Scott does his homework. He starts reading off a list of about 10, 11 people that broke NCAA rules and did this and that. And I'm like, we shocked by any of this? And then Kalen DeBoer wants to go work for the Crook of Reigns? I don't think so. They need to sweep everybody out of here.
Ray from Madison has called in. You can too at 256-576-4977. How are you, Ray?
Doing good.
Excellent.
Are you doing all right?
Yeah. We're good. We're good. What's on your mind, sir?
3 quick questions, and I want to hang up and listen. And I've enjoyed the show. Glad that you guys are covering this. It makes sense about all the things that have been brought up already. My only thought was because of the power and the dominance in the SEC, how I think we're going to go to 9 games and how tough it is just to win in that conference. My only thing is thinking like maybe if somebody was at Michigan, your path to the playoffs because could very well just be one of those conferences that year in and year out brutalize each other. Of course, it's Captain Obvious.
The only thing I would say to that, Ray, would be look at the roster right now and the amount of young players that have contributed to this team. And as Drew mentioned, the class that's just signed as well.
And that doesn't even count the portal guys they could eventually bring in.
Let me ask you a question. When have they had time to talk to him? That's what I'm saying. They didn't know they were going to fire their coach a week ago.
Because they were at least 2 weeks ago. Because if they beat Ohio State, they're probably in the playoff and giving him a contract extension and the chick some new job.
Well, no, so I don't believe it went down like that. I believe this caught everybody off guard big time because of the way he's reacted. Now that man is sitting in jail right now.
That's right.
So I just think that maybe they want to talk to him, but I don't think they got any of their ducks in a row. To be honest with you, I don't think it's a whisper has been at this point.
Ray, you said 3 questions.
I just wonder how much power that Greg Byrne has in light of the expectations. I don't know the people that really put the money in and the boosters and all that, the ones that are really powerful. I don't know, if they're, they may be or may not be, how patient or whatever they may be. I think that my second question was, how much autonomy and power do you think Greg Byrne has? I think he did great with getting Nate Oates at Bama. And Greg Byrne said he hired DeBoer for the long haul. And
that's right.
I'm a Bama fan. I just think that he at least needs 3 years. I would like to see the.
He made the SEC championship game in year 2.
Yeah.
Now he's made the playoff in year 2.
I think there's zero chance that Alabama wants to get rid of him. I think that's a bunch of talk by fringe fans and
moonshine
and also some people that aren't Alabama fans have been saying this or that.
Chicago, he's yelling real loud.
I think it's kind of like I think the people that in power, or the people that you're talking about, know that Kalen DeBoer is a good coach and a good man, and who they're going to hire that's better.
Because
I think that's the question you have to ask yourself: who are you going to hire that's better? Lane Kiffin's the rage right now, but Lane Kiffin hadn't ever won anything.
He was under my car
as a head coach.
Oh, man.
Was
that
possum named Lane? How about question number 3 there, Ray?
My last question would be, the world we live in, if a lot of times things are exaggerated or blown out of proportion, and it's what have you done for me lately mentality. If they lose a close game to Oklahoma, excuse me.
Yeah.
If they lose to the Sooners in a close game, or they keep it respectable, regardless of how many people get on the ledge, are you guys confident that they're going to do what they can to keep DeBoer? And my last comment is, thank you, Wes, for the picture you just took there with my son at the location.
Oh, yeah. That was my pleasure.
I'll hang up and listen to you guys. I hope they get. I kind of feel like they're kind of tapped out because of the injury attrition, and but I have been to go to Georgia this year and win. I will say this: the biggest surprise and positive for me was watching the FSU game, then how they turned it around at Georgia. And I know the offense regressed. I don't know that I remember a time where I never ever saw a turnaround that quickly in the right direction. And then they went through the meat grinder and won a lot of close games. But I just think it'd be insane if he doesn't get a third year or maybe even a fourth. Maybe I'm pushing it with a lot of people, but you know how the expectation is. And I'll hang up and let you guys talk. Thank you.
I'll be surprised if Kalen DeBoer is not the coach 10 years from now. He's not Nick Saban. There are no more Nick Sabans.
No, they're not.
He's doing a heck of a job. They had, like Drew said, they had a top two to top five. Let's just say top five in everybody's poll. They're top five.
Yeah,
they've
got E.J. Crowell coming in.
Yes, and that'll take care of a lot of ills. I've watched tape on him. If he can stay healthy, that's the thing, and learn how to pass block. But I'm sure they'll be able to teach him. But you look at all this, and the way they played against Michigan and the way they played against Florida State was horrible.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt about that. And I was concerned. But the way they came back and the way the team, but the way the players play for him and generally are having fun and winning. I mean, they made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
With a team that you look at they had 12 people that didn't play in the Georgia game.
Yeah,
that's a lot of people.
They were at least 6 starters and then key backups. Yeah. I'm sorry, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, and Georgia had people hurt too, but but not like that. And I think Georgia has more depth than
They're
Alabama
better than
has.
Alabama right now.
Yes, 100%.
Right now.
Yeah,
but
right now they are.
That can change.
I mean, look, I, unlike 21, I'm not making any excuses. Alabama got beat.
Who would you hire besides? You can hire anybody.
Anybody.
Who would you, I mean, Kirby, he's not leaving.
No. There's only one person I would hire, and I would wait on him because he'd have to get done with the playoffs. That's DeMeco Ryans. And I don't give a rat's crap that he's never coached a college game in his life. You get him a general manager. He knows the state of Alabama. He would be a rock star in any living room, and he would knock it out of the park.
He'd have to be an idiot, really.
Yeah, he's got a good job.
He does, but
he's made it a good job.
He has, but he has a street named after him in Bessemer. A scholarship endowed in his name at Alabama.
I know.
And people that have a brain realize.
I'm not arguing that. That's who I wanted. Steve does. That's who I wanted for the game.
Yeah, exactly. Before
I'm not
DeBoer
arguing
was
that.
hired.
I'm just saying he's not coming.
Yeah. I think if he were approached that they could get him, and I mean I just do because it's Alabama, and so that's just my opinion. And I think it's the one job he would leave the NFL for.
Yeah, I just don't think he's leaving the NFL. I don't.
There's actual rules in the NFL.
Yeah, there's no
There's
now,
actual
that's
calendar.
There's actually stuff that makes sense. Let's do this. If they get everything under control, and DeBoer does leave for whatever reason.
Like if he leaves for the NFL in 6 or 7 years, then that's when I'd like it to really happen. Is when DeMeco would come home. He would still be young. And again, I think there's nobody more well equipped to be the first African American head football coach in the state of Alabama at Alabama or Auburn than DeMeco Ryans.
Well, I think he's equipped no matter what color he is.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm just saying that's part of it too. That would be a part of the storyline. And he is a great man, regardless. I've never heard not one person say a negative thing about DeMeco Ryans.
I made Connor watch tape on him, how he played.
Yeah.
See, and I'll just say this. I've said it a million times. If he had played for Nick Saban, he might be considered the greatest linebacker to ever play at Alabama. He's just not. He doesn't get the buzz because Saban came in right after he got done and built a dynasty, and he played on teams that were good, not great. But you got to understand how good that man was.
They would play on teams that won 10-3.
Yeah.
Pete Golding had a press conference today. And
did they have the dump button? I've heard about those.
Yeah. He did have something to say.
Drew, you shouldn't be able to even say that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I've heard, he goes down the path.
We'll be back here at Full Moon Barbecue. Final call for phone calls as well. Walking you up to some UAH Charger basketball tonight as they take on Trevecca. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. And with our Workhorse Special promotion, that new 255 CTL is just $73,655. But it's only good through December 31st. Prices increase in January, so lock in your savings now and take advantage of year-end tax benefits to maximize your investment. Don't wait. The best time to buy that new Cat 255 is today. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Announcing the 97.7 ESPN The Zone Baumhower's Bracket Challenge. Sign up now at our Facebook page, 977 ESPN, or just go to ESPN.com Fantasy. Click on the Bracket Challenge and search Baumhower's Bracket Challenge. Presented by 97.7 ESPN The Zone to get in. The grand prize, an overnight stay at the historic Battle House Renaissance Mobile Hotel. Dinner for two at Del Fans. And a complimentary beverage and dessert at La Floriditas, Mobile's only Cuban-inspired speakeasy. The 97.7 ESPN The Zone Baumhower's Bracket Challenge. Sign up closes on the 19th, so get in today.
The Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. Weekday morning starting at 9 a.m. on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're a mean one. Back here at Full Moon Barbecue. Stephen Drew here with you. By the way, the UAH women are up by 20 over Trevecca. I'm telling you, this team.
And Trevecca came in playing well. We had Coach Sharp on this morning. You know, they got a new coach, and they were playing really good defense. Coach Sharp was worried about the defense.
61-42 now. Lily Wilkin has 13 in the game, but it's Bella White. Bella White, 21 in the game for Bella. She's 8 of 12 from the floor, including a pair of threes as well. So Bella's having a outstanding night. And now if they can hold on, this is 3-0 in conference play. I can't tell you the last time the UH women have been 3-0 in conference play.
Coach Sharp was talking about Bella White this morning, how he's hoping she was going to step forward and be the second scorer.
Yeah.
Because Lily Wilkins been Jordan basically.
Yeah.
And
need a Pippen.
So, and you need a second scorer and even a third, but they've had injuries a little bit.
Paris Opelt is also another one. It's a really good women's team. Yeah. And all of a sudden Saturday, That game against Lee, I'm telling you.
That's a huge rivalry, too.
That's going to be fascinating to watch. That's 2 o'clock on Saturday, and you'll be able to hear it right here. Speaking of hearing things, Pete Golding was asked the following today.
And the guys weren't gone for very long, but has it been kind of seamless having these the coaching staff intact now?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing from our players, I think it's at any level, D2, 1AA, the NFL, they want to be in a room with guys that create value for them. All right, and educating and get prepared to play really well, whether it's individually, as a group, and then as a unit. And I think, when you get back to a routine of things and you're doing it with the same guy that you've done it that got you to 11-1, regardless where he's going to be in January, it really doesn't matter. And I think from the very beginning, the guys that are leading those rooms that came back to lead those rooms are great men. And there was nothing, prior to them leaving that they were ever going to question whether they were going to coach in the game or not. The question was going to be where they coach next year, which any coach right now is questioning that, regardless whether they're successful, right? A lot of people want them, or they're not successful, they're about to get their ass fired. So that there's indecision for everybody, including every locker room. They're going to evaluate every January. Am I in the right system? Am I creating value for myself and my team? Is there a better opportunity? Do I like where I go to school? All those type of things. So I think this group is focused on the mission, not the man. And I think that's everybody from the coach into the players. And so I think you jump back in. Obviously, like in any situation, you break up with your girlfriend and you get back, you're kind of looking around and you're looking at things that you probably didn't look at before. And you're probably noticing some things that were there before. All right. And you're noticing them now. So there are a couple talks, guys. It's the same thing. It was there before. You weren't looking for it. All right. Let's relax and let's focus and let's play football. So they're in a pretty good spot.
That is Pete Golding from earlier today. And as I mentioned, a sizable favorite over the Tulane Green Wave. But we've seen this. Not to say that we're going to see another 45-17 or whatever the score was, but I don't think anybody is realistically believing that James Madison or Tulane is going to win next week.
Well, I'll just say this. I'm going to be rooting hard for John. We saw it happen in the Duke Virginia rematch, which Virginia had won by 17.
But honestly, they were lucky to hold on against North Texas.
They were. But like I said, Summerall and those guys have done a great job of creating this opportunity. And this will be a big game for Pete Golding, because it would be a huge win to get some momentum going for him and get into the bowl round of the college football playoff, so to speak, and get into the quarterfinals.
That's right.
So, and it would be, and it would create some positivity from the fan base. They're already excited, I think, because they just wanted, Lane the Possum gone because of what he put them through. And so they gave it to Pete. There's been some continuity. I think they're excited that a lot of the staff, especially defensively, stayed. And so, but I will say this. If Summerall does pull this off, it won't affect Pete Golding in the short term, but long term, you'd have to have some worry if he can't win this game, okay, and keep these guys focused. In other words, is this Matt Luke the sequel? Everybody keeps wanting to talk about with Kalen DeBoer. I've heard ridiculousness referred to as this another Mike Shula situation, which is really actually stupid, because look, Mike Shula never beat Auburn. That's why Mike Shula was unemployed. Okay, if he could have beaten Auburn, because he beat Tennessee, don't forget that. And if he had beaten Auburn, or he would have still been employed a little bit longer. He didn't. He got dominated, and so he got shown the door. And he was stubborn, and he wouldn't make changes. All right, and so that's what I'm saying. So we'll see. But Boer's 19-7. I mean, he's done a solid job. I mean, you could argue that I think he's only been whipped by Florida State. That was one-sided. And Oklahoma. Okay, all the other games you could say because they were driving to beat Michigan. They were driving. They were inside.
That was an ugly game to watch.
That was. They were inside the 15-yard line with a chance to win it, even as bad as they played. And then they could have beaten Vandy. They had chances in that game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then Tennessee, they were up at halftime.
But the defense couldn't stop Vanderbilt.
I know, exactly. And then in the fourth quarter, I believe they were ahead of Tennessee 17-14.
Yeah.
He's only been outclassed a couple times. Well, now 3 times, because Georgia whipped him.
Yeah.
Because he had a MASH unit, and it was MASH versus MASH, but Alabama really had a MASH unit. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, I'm hoping that DeBoer, with his 2 weeks to prepare, can beat Oklahoma, shut some people up. Do I think he's going to beat Indiana? No, I do not. I think Indiana's a great football team. I think that's going to be a very difficult task, going to the Rose Bowl and beating them because they're as well-rounded as anybody in the country. But I'd sure like to see it and give an opportunity. And here's another thing, too, about going to the Crookereens. The Crookereens' best running back is Justice Haynes. Is he a fan of Kalen DeBoer's?
No. We do have a bracket challenge for you to participate in, and I know when we usually say bracket challenge, you're thinking it's March. No, this is the bracket challenge here for college football. So head over to our website, 977ESPN.com. You'll see the link on that front banner. Just give it time to scroll through for our bracket challenge here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. So it's just on the subject of the bracket itself. We started this week talking with Ivan Maisel.
I heard that. That was interesting.
Going to re-rack that conversation for you in case you missed that. That's going to allow me to get over to UAH. Plus, you're going to hear my conversation with head coach Mick Hedgespeth as the Chargers looking to bounce back after an L, his very first L.
We mentioned that this morning. We said, Coach, it took 41 games as UAH coach before you lose one conference game.
I know.
By 2.
I know.
I was like, congratulations,
down a starter,
man.
Down the first guy off the bench.
Yeah. And you're up 8 with under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It was heartbreaking, but hopefully you learned from it. The Crimson Panthers certainly had to after they went to Montgomery Academy. Whew. Tough place to play.
Yeah. I would say even that Tuesday game against Oakwood was
it was unbelievable.
Check your oil game.
Look, man, I texted Coach Rears today. You can argue that Huntsville High has played the best 1A, 2A, the Section Lions, and 3A basketball teams in the state of Alabama.
Be alert, everybody. If you can go see Oakwood Academy, do it. I would highly recommend it.
I mean, they're 5-9, but they're ranked number 2 in 1A for a reason.
Yep. Ivan Maisel, and then Charger basketball comes up next.
Well-informed truck and SUV buyers wait all year for this moment because they know the year-end deals are worth the wait. Hi, folks. Don Wessels for Woody Anderson Ford, and these are the final days of our year-end sales event. We've got nearly 700 new Fords ready for you, and it's very likely you'll find exactly what you're looking for. Drive home with no payments for 90 days, plus get financing as low as 0% for 60 months on the 25 F-150, Explorer, Escape,